All right. Hello, collective. Welcome to Angie Blog. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great weekend. Today is a Saturday night. I just taken a little break from writing. I am in writing mode. Yes. It's even my eyes, I feel like, oh, okay. But I just wanted to give you guys some collective a channel message, but first I want to give you some updates. Spirit wants to give you some updates. I'm sure there's other people who are already giving you these updates, but if you look at REBUKE on psychic readers and people that you should look up to, there's a couple astrologers there as well. So whatever they're telling you, this is basically, I'm just, you can check them out too for confirmation. Okay. The energy definitely feels very expansive right now for some individuals. Others, it feels kind of like, oh, especially since we are kind of by the November 23rd, we are going to be out of eclipse season, okay? But also we're starting new, we're starting fresh, and it's a new moon in Sagittarius, okay? So I just want to give you some updates, and then the next video is going to be a channel message that I also received yesterday. I think it might be two. We'll see how it goes. But other than that, thank you so much, guys, for being here. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family. Also preparing, I have messages also for you for each of the signs, okay, for the specific new moon. Yes, Spirit has a message for each of you to keep you encouraged, to keep you in the, uplifted, because the year is almost done. And as you know, for a lot of us, especially if we're in that raising consciousness and in every possible way, especially within ourselves, we are already preparing for next year. Like I'm already writing for next year already too. So just giving you a heads up that, when you want those New Year's Eve motivations or I don't know, goals, usually started way before New Year's Eve. You don't wait for exactly New Year's Eve. So I'm giving you a heads up for those who are learning about manifestation, how to do it the right way, right? The law of attraction. Also, thank you so much, guys. I was actually surprised. But thank you. Those who listen to the new podcast 56 and send me emails letting me know that it was really helpful, that you guys took notes. And that, yes, actually, I was thinking about it. Me and Spirit were having a very nice conversation that I should make what I spoke about on the recent podcast. That I was thinking to make it even into more deeper ebook kind of thing, and for you guys. So thank you for the idea, because I've been thinking about it. So yay. Those who haven't listened to the podcast, yes, I'm sorry for those on social media. I honestly been focusing on my writing and here, and but eventually I will be on social media too. I will post about the podcast. But yes, those who have listened to it who have listened to it already, that found it through Angie Blog community, or I think I posted it on Instagram, but it was on the story. So those who did that, awesome. So yeah, I will post it eventually tomorrow Sunday. Yeah, I'll try tomorrow. I'll put it to let you guys know that the podcast is there. And also when the signs are up on TikTok. Yay! By the way, TikTok is growing. Thank you so much, guys, too. Wow. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you, right? And that's what I'm here for. Because I was like, I gotta show off for my people. Especially I feel better now. Like my voice is coming back a little bit. Maybe it's the whole writing and not talking too much, maybe. Anyway, so the update is remember that we went Neptune retrograde Pisces on the 28th of June, right? Well, in December 4th, that's it. It will go no more, okay? So I feel like right now we're feeling kind of the effects of it still. Remember, Neptune is all about intuition, download messages and stuff like that. So a lot of things are being cleared out, all that fog and confusion, okay? So that's why, this is a perfect time also. Well, we've been using this time, at least a lot of us who are working in terms of tarot oracle messages and stuff like that, doing the shadow work, work, but also making sure that our discernment is on point, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it might, but that's something that we have used this planetary alignment to help us in our spiritual self-discipline, okay? And also that too. So this also will encourage us to that too is like the dreams and everything we have stayed on point. At least some of us have gone the rail, but we make sure that we show up, that we are obedient to the Most High, that we write down the dreams, we check out the numbers, the synchronicities and stuff like that, and make sure that things are in alignment within ourselves. But also that too, we're checking in ourselves too before we post, so we put our information or share our gifts and talents, because we don't want to disrupt, we don't want to give away too much, right? Because there's a reason for that, right? Because that means you can't give away too much to the enemy, right? Even though he can't do anything, he won't never, you know what I'm saying? But we need to also be responsible, that we gotta prevent certain things from happening for other people or the collective or anything like that. And also that you have to be aware and responsible that other people watch you, right? It's just what it is. Okay, so then we have that. Then we have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. It went retrograde on 24th of August, and it's finishing on January 1st. So Uranus is all about like kind of like destruction kind of thing, kind of change and shifting and like a lot of things. And you've seen that around in the world, right? You see all that is human, the collective, the unconscious, right? And you see how people retaliate and act when they are in unconscious state. And then that too is like, you can talk conscious knowledge or things that you've already done healing in a workshop or to people who are unconscious. It's very difficult. You notice that your vibration don't align, and they don't really get you, and they tend to be like, their ego tends to be really triggered, right? So this is something that I feel like Divine is trying to teach us as well. Like, have compassion. Even though they don't have it towards you, it's okay. Even though they judge you and they don't really understand you and they don't want to, and they don't like to see other people's perspective, you know that they don't want to change, just send them, good vibes, wish them well. You don't need to, you know what I'm saying? And that too, don't be quick to anger, because that's what they're also are trying to provoke towards you, because they want to prove a point that you're not right or that you're lying or stuff like that. So that's something that he let me know today, that make sure that you're loving yourself, caring for yourself. Remember that God puts these gifts and talents for you to do this type of work, no matter, and you have to be, and being comfortable, being uncomfortable, it's doing things outside of your comfort zone, right? So you have to also make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you're loving yourself, that especially if you're right now in kind of like solitude mode or hermit mode, like most of us are, that's what it is. Then this is something that you kind of constantly have to tell yourself, like talk to yourself nicely, be kind, take yourself on a date, or just have alone time with yourself, like write down, journal. I don't know, me, I've been watching like documentaries or movies lately with the Holy Spirit. It's great, and I write down any download messages that I get, and then I discern, right? And then I, check out with it and see what kind of messages. Is it for here, or is it for me? Is it for other people? So stuff like that. Like, just learn about yourself, learn about, because the thing is that especially those who are in the single field, or those who like recently are separating, right? That too, he kept talking about that. Like, so a lot of people like breaking, like a lot of karmic contracts has been broken. A lot of people who were in a long-term relationship with really toxic and abusive relationship has been broken. Thank God, praise God. Thank you, Jesus, thank you, Holy Spirit, because these people were being abused and controlled and manipulated, and hopefully they have learned the lesson and not have gone back, because that's the situation here. When these planets no longer are in retrograde, people tend to be tempted. These people tend to try to go back and tell them and bullshit them and stuff like that. Like, oh no, I'm different, I'm gonna change and blah blah blah. But they're not. It's some type of emotional manipulation. So this is why the planets right now are wants you out of that, kill yourself so that you can have a higher stamina, so you can have better resilience. And also that too is like you'll be able to see the BS, the truth through the BS, right? So take advantage of these energies, okay? So now we have a new moon in Sagittarius, right? And this is when the eclipse season is over on November 23rd, okay? But then we also have Jupiter on November 23rd as well. It goes direct in Pisces, which is interesting because Neptune is in Pisces retrograde right now until December 4th. So we're gonna have Jupiter, which is all about, confidence, vitality, optimism, success, expansion, right? And it's all about your intuition. So it's all of that, like a lot of us who are going through spiritual awakening right now, it's going to be like super heightened. So make sure that you're writing down your dreams, writing down your downloads. Even when you're watching like tarot and oracle stuff like that, you will get downloads. I swear. But it doesn't mean like, oh no, I'm just going to write down what they're saying and then use it for myself. No. I'm not talking about that. None of that. No. Because there's people who do that and it's not good. Okay, don't do that. What I'm saying is that even through tarot, if you're watching tarots or watching some information or even watching like a movie or something, like all of us are in different aspects uniquely to ourselves during this time. We're gonna have intuitive messages, downloads specifically for you. For example, what example? Okay, so I had in mind, I was thinking that I had this other idea that I wanted to do and I wasn't sure if I should do it or not. And all of a sudden I'm watching this show series and all of a sudden like one part of the movie or someone like a character or something says something about that specific part in the idea that I wanted to do. And I was like, oh my God. And then I hear my intuitive message say, that's your confirmation. And when I heard it, I was like, oh my God. So I went and started writing down the idea and the things that I wanted to do. So kind of like that. So like this could be for a musician, if you're a musician, like a song that you've been thinking about, but you're not sure. And all of a sudden you start hearing some type of beat. That too. Songwriters, like me too. There was one beat I heard the other day and I was like, oh my God, that's perfect for a song. And then I start hearing the lyrics and the words and I start writing it down. So when that happens, you got to act right away. Okay. That's really also how manifestation works as well. When you let it go, let's say you have this dream and goal and you have manifested it and you just let it go. You let divine, surrender it and you detach. And then all of a sudden, little synchronicity, little things are happening for you to do what you got to do to get there. So basically you have to, for one of our manifestations where you have to be that you're asking to manifest. But it's not something that it happens right away. It's something that it happens in divine timing. And it's a process. And then that too, it's not your time or earth time, it's God's timing. Yep, that's how manifestation works. Just saying, if you're doing it the right way, that's for sure. Okay, so Jupiter is direct to Pisces. So this is also a time to like expand our creativity and focus on spiritual gifts. So if you're interested in understanding like what kind of gifts you have or what are you here for, or asking yourself the question, what do I feel like doing with my life? This is the perfect time, okay? So I wrote down some things that I heard too. It says reconnecting. So basically this is also the time to reconnect with like, things that we left behind, perhaps reconnecting with maybe our ancestors if we haven't forgotten that. Reconnecting with nature again, or reconnecting with our gifts and talents that we maybe put it aside so that we can do something else, or maybe we'll listen to other people, maybe we misunderstood something or someone. But first, before that, if it's someone, I will always confirm with God first. I pray for that. I fast, do a couple fasting, a couple days, and then make sure that God gives you the right confirmation if you should reconnect with that person or not. Okay, so that was one. The other thing is planning a trip. So a lot of you maybe, renew your passport or get your passport ready, or like, I don't know, maybe spontaneously you have the money, you've been planning something. This is the time for that. For next year, I would suggest, yeah. Or maybe if you want to plan for Christmas, like do a trip or something like that, this is the time for that. Have that connection, like, okay, why? And then ask yourself, why are you doing this trip? Now, it's not just for like, okay, leisure or whatever. It's not just for that, or luxury or something. No, do it for something that is like meaningful, like helpful. Like, okay, I want to go to this place because I want to see this, and I want to try this, and I want to experience this. What does that feel like, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Like, do it for meaning, basically. Something that it's like, if you do it for healing, that's even more meaningful. If you're doing it for a charity or for volunteering or something like that, mostly volunteer is not paid, right? But, if you have the means to do so, and you want to help a community, you want to help someone or something like that, or you want to donate money and you want to do it yourself, then perfect timing, okay? Be generous there. This is beautiful. Okay, the other one is, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? What makes you be in your inner child state? Right? Yeah, Spirit says go back to that. Yes, something, because this Sagittarius is a very fiery, right? It's very like, and new moon is all about manifestations, right? So if you want to do some manifestations, this is the perfect time, new moon. Maybe you want to manifest for somebody else, that too. That, let's say, maybe as a childhood friend or something like that you're still good friends, and you see them kind of struggling or something like that, and you wish you can help them, but you not have the means or anything like that. You pray for them. Praying is manifesting. Okay, let's not forget that. You can pray for them, you can manifest for them, you can write something and then burn it for them or something like that so that it can happen for them. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Yes. But also for yourself, what used to make you happy when you were a child? And I don't know, it's something about going back in a way, like be more intimate in a way, or vulnerable with yourself. So maybe for those of you who are not being like that with another person in the past or something like that, and that didn't work out, and right now you're trying to see how that feels like with another person, well, you got to start with yourself first, so that way you recognize when a person is open and vulnerable and is emotionally stable and emotionally available and open, right? So just saying. Okay, connect with the divine. This is the perfect time, right? Neptune, Pisces, new moon, Sagittarius. Then we have Jupiter and direct. It's just awesome. Divine is like, it's like a portal. Look at it that way. It's kind of like, especially perfect time for meditation. So try to meditate on the new moon, the 23rd. Absolutely. Okay. I recommend 20 minutes if you can, 30 minutes, like connect. Okay. Beautiful prayer as well. Fasting. You can do a fasting. Usually if you're doing a fasting, don't tell people that you're doing it, that's all. Some people are doing it before, some people are doing it on the day, some people are doing it 3 days, because you know what it is. New moon, new levels. Yeah, that same thing. And these people are already working 3 days before and then 3 days after that. We know their shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. We can't control what people do. We only can control what we can do. Fasting is a beautiful way to protect you as well. I talk about that in that podcast. Those who heard that podcast know what I'm saying. All right. What else? What do you want to leave behind? What do you want to leave behind? So work on something that if you disappear tomorrow, people are going to remember you. The way how you treat people, what you built. If you have a channel, if you have a book, if you have a song, if you have a painting, if you have a client's healing or something like that, or you made a project at school or something like that, or I don't know, something that you can leave behind that is specifically yours. Divine wants you to focus on that, and specifically each of you what it is. This is a collective. There's a lot of people watching. So you know which one is yours. Eh? Yes. That one that makes you tickle, that you get butterflies and your hair goes up when you do it. That's how I get when I'm writing. What's yours? Don't need to let me know in the comments. If you want to, I will pray for your thing. And if you're having some blockage on that, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna pray for you. Okay? We're gonna remove it because that's stagnation and it's not cool. For gifts and talents, no way. Don't waste your time with that. No, do it. And that too, those of you who want to open a Patreon or study or something like that, or a course or something like that, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I was stagnant about that. I was like, why am I not doing this? And now I'm doing it. See, we are the limit on ourselves. We are our cock blockers, right? So when we remove that, you know, also we are aware that it wasn't all our fault. And then when it gets lifted off, and then you're just like, because you did your own work too. I feel bad for those who try to block it though. May God have mercy on your souls. But when it's lifted off, it's like, wow. And you'll feel it too. When you do the work, go listen to the podcast, number 56. It's going to help you out. Especially conscious creatives. If you're a creative, you have gifts and talents, and you got a lot of people trying to go against you, you're going to benefit from that podcast. I swear. Actually, don't thank me. Thank God and Divine, because they're the one who put me to do that. Actually, they were the one who taught me how to do that. So, hey. What you want people to remember you. Yes, I said that. It's time for play. Play. I don't know. Something about playing. So, try not to, if you're feeling like low, and because this is a time for that. Like, that's why I put it on my social media, my story, this guy who we're talking about that, because a lot of people think that spirituality is all love and light and stuff like that. And let's make it clear, when you have your first spiritual awakening, okay, when you go to your dark night of the soul or ascension process, it's not what you think it is. Okay, it's some of us go through some like depression, like intense, like it's dark, it's heavy, you feel like crap and stuff like that. And a lot of you is like, oh, but that's, everybody goes through depression and anxiety. No, when you're in a spiritual awakening, it's every day. Yeah, because you awaken to the truth. You know that everything that you've ever learned is bullshit, is shit. All bullshit kakalaka. Also, you start seeing spirits. For some of us who become really highly sensitive, that was blocked because you were asleep. And then when you awake, you were like, whoa, what? Yes. Some of us have always been highly sensitive. So that when we get awakened, it's even... So we need to learn how to love ourselves. We need to learn how to reprogram, how to decolonize, right? We got to decolonize our mind, right? Which is not easy, living in a world that is colonized and oppressed and toxic and lying and manipulative, right? Unequal. So you have to have compassion through this, through your healing. You have to forgive yourself. You're not gonna do this perfect. Nobody's perfect in this spiritual, and if they tell you otherwise, they're fucking lying to you. They're lying. And I gotta be truthful to you. We all do. Spirituality, it's not what you think. It's like, oh, maybe we make it look like that. But I want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are days that it's like crying, like, you know, it's like, oh my God. You know, and only God can get me out of the dark pit. That's it. And that too is like, you start seeing people who they truly are. You start seeing people they're jealous and envy. You start seeing the BS. You see the truth. And I'm telling you, the truth is not that pretty as people make it. Why do you think people attack people who speak the truth, who are storytellers and stuff like that? Because they operate and live in a lie. They're fake. And that's how they not survive, because they don't. Everything gets exposed, you know what I'm saying? But it's not easy. Some people don't want to be awakened. Some people don't want to be spiritual because they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the consequences of being a truth teller. Some people don't want to tell the truth, but then there goes the more hardship and the more shit that comes up because you're here to tell the truth. That's your job. A lot of us, this is our job. Whichever way you do it, either through music, through content creation, through books, through your medicinal, or your workplace, your teaching, especially educators right now, they know they have the hardest job right now. And therapists, woo-wee, they know. That's why they don't want to do it either. Why do you think most of the people who are supporting those who take away all those books that they know that they gotta fix all the white supremacy and stuff like that, now they're trying to remove the books to actually fix that because they don't want to do it? By the way, those are not good teachers who's supporting that. Those educational organizations and stuff like that who's supporting that, they're not good. That's in the States. I don't know about here in Canada. Hopefully they're not, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thankful and grateful that in my girls' school, they're teaching about decolonization. And I'm just happy with that. And that's good enough with me. You know what I'm saying? And I hope other schools learn from schools like this because we have to. We cannot allow our kids to go through what we've been through. And now we're still going through, reprogramming ourselves, literally, for them to go through that. Like, that's not fair. Either way, I'm not letting it. So hopefully if you're a parent, don't let your kids be on non-conscious or be like that. Like, no, it's not good. Okay. Yes, it's going to be harsh. But they have to see it just like, you know what I'm saying? Because it will build them a tough skin. They will stand up for themselves. They will speak up. They will discern. You're teaching me about discerning their books, you know, their teachers, right? To know the lies, that what they're saying and correct it. Yes, they're allowed to do that. Nobody's better than everybody. You know, we're all here students. Even teachers are students. You know what I'm saying? It's just saying. All right, simplicity. Something about being like less is more. Like I said in a couple of days ago in a reading, I think it was like a download message or something that I was saying that less is more. It really is. Right now, it's all about simplicity. So try to do things. And that's also how you reprogram that perfectionism thing, energy, because nobody's perfect. So let that go. That competition and comparing and stuff like that. It also helps too. Like just do things simple. Like do one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing, the last thing is remember Mars is in retrograde in Gemini. Okay. In October, it went on retrograde on October 30th and it's going to continue to January 1st. So we're going to have two planets that they're going to finish the retrograde, Uranus and Mars. Woo! Intense change, shift and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like make things simple for you, especially if you're going through this deep healing, shadow work, or inner work. You got to find ways that you can make this simple and helpful for you, right? That rest is productive, right? Affirmations, prayers every day, meditation, 15 minutes. Start with 5 minutes if it's your first time, you know, or 10 minutes and stuff like that. But make it consistent. Be consistent with this, okay? What else? Yes. One thing I want to remind you, just to end, we have, there is a full moon in December 7th, okay, and it is in Gemini as well. So we're gonna have Mars, a new full moon, you know, so a lot of love, a lot of double-sided things. So it's good to work on that discernment right now. It's like a muscle. You're working out that muscle, the discernment muscle, spiritual discernment. And that's you. Pray for it. I pray for it every day. Pray that you have spiritual discernment every single day. Not just during the time, but it's like it's going to help you. The planets are going to help you with this so that you can see through the veil. Do you understand? Especially those who don't have that gift. I'm giving you the gist, okay? Because for me, I've been doing this for years and I can see right through, right? That's why I do this. It's able easier, you know, but it's a muscle, right? You work this muscle, okay? Then we have December 23rd is a new moon in Capricorn, okay? So that's something that I wanted to leave out there. Other than that, I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments anything that, you know, if you'd like to know. I love you, and I will see you in the next channel message that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, So stay prayed up, stay meditated up. Self-care, self-love first, okay? Rest is productive. And yeah, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye.